In this video, I'm going to show you some of the changes that were made in Cloud version 28. So to get the changes that are in this one, you need to save your work, refresh the browser, and when you get done, it should say down here at the help in the help menu, it should say Cloud.28. So these changes are only in Cloud Grid Designer. They're not in Legacy Grid Designer. Okay. All right. So what we have here is we have a pattern with a bunch of flowers on it. And what I did, the biggest change that I made in Cloud 28 version is to allow you to select multiple things at the same time. So for instance, here we have this pattern of flowers, and we've got these orange flowers around the outside that make up our border. But we suppose we want to change the colors in all of those flowers that make up the border, but we don't want to change the orange that's out here in the middle. So we can't make a big rectangle around the whole thing and, substitute the color. What we want is we just want to select the border. So we're going to go down here and select a rectangle selection area. And then we're going to go up here and select the top area of the border. Okay. And now we can come down here with this change that I've made in this version. You can now click on this again. So you can say select another rectangle. And let's go over here and select this one coming down the side here. And then we can make another rectangle. And we'll select it over here. And then another rectangle. And we'll select it over here, coming up the other side. So now we have just the border selected. Okay. Now when we go into here and do substitute colors, okay, then we have only the outside selected, and this becomes obvious once you get this blown up a little bit more. Looks a little shaded in here. What happens now in here when you have things selected is there are little check marks on each and every box. If we blow that up more, you'll be able to see them, but right now it looks like they're shaded a little bit in there. Okay, so we can see that that's what's selected around the outside of this. Okay, so now I want to change this color, this orange. So I'm going to click on that, and that take me to orange in my list down here. This has a list of all the colors that are in that selected area. So I want to change the orange. Let's say we want to change it to something else. Let's see. Let's make it a pale peach. Okay, so now it's a lighter pale peach. Okay, and then let's say convert pattern. Okay, so now we've got all these flowers around the outside, all selected and changed all together without changing anything in the middle. Okay, so to get rid of the selection, we can click on Cancel Select. You can also click somewhere else on the grid to cancel the selection. That will also do it. And also, when we have multiple things selected, we can go back and click on them to get rid of them. So if I had some area here that was selected, and then I pick another area here that I'm having selected, and another area here that I'm selected, and then I decide I don't want this one up here in my selection, I can click on it. So you can get rid of those, and then you can continue on with whatever you're doing. And that's true in general. No matter how you select it, you should be able to go back and click on the things that you don't want there if you want them to go away. Okay. All right. So now let's use this to copy some flowers around. So I'm going to copy these two of these yellow flowers. We have like a stripe of yellow flowers, and I'm going to make the yellow flowers, put them in these two squares over here. And so I can do that. I could copy one and, try and get the spacing right and all that. But if I have the spacing right in these two, I can select both of them together and copy them both together and put them over here. And that's a little bit less work than copying each one by itself. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use something called the multicolor motif selection. It has two colors in here in the icon that indicates you can select multiple colored things. Okay, so I'm going to select that. And now what's important in selecting that is that you have to have this background color set correctly. Okay, so for the object that you're going to pick, that background color has to be surrounding that object. So blue in this case, and this happens in a lot of patterns that people do. You might have a general background color that's selecting that is around objects that are drawn in your design. And so with the background color set to the light blue and this set to multicolor select, then if we go in here and we click on that flower there, we can get that flower. You have to go back down here and say what you want your next selection, what type of selection your next selection is going to be. And then you have to do that. Okay, so now we have those two things are selected now. If I do copy and paste, then I will get a selection with those two flowers in it. I'm going to put it over here. And we don't want to paste it like that because our background is on. But you can turn the background on and off down here in whatever you've got selected. So we'll just toggle the background off. And so now we'll be able to paste that without interfering with the other flowers that we have. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I think it looks like it's in the right spot. So let's go ahead and just apply that to the grid. Okay, so now we've copied our two flowers over there. Let's see. So another way, let's see. So let's say we want to do these two flowers down here. And I'm sorry, I'm going to copy these two red flowers here down to here. Then we can use multicolor select again. Let's say we'll select one like this. And then just to show you that you can mix and match these things, I'm going to go and say, now I want a rectangular selection, and I'll go in here and pick this one. Okay. And now those two are together. They are both selected at the same time. So we're going to say copy and paste. So we're going to go back over here and put this in here. Since we had the blue here, we know exactly where the edge is going to be. It's going to sit right like that. And then we've got to turn our background off so we're not drawing over anything. And then we're going to say apply it. Okay. So so that's the way you would use those. So you can mix and match any type of selected area, rectangle, or the other kind. There's also a single color motif, which would select just a single color. So if you wanted just that orange flower there, or just a certain color, then you can use that to select that. You can turn the selection off by doing this, or you can turn it off by clicking on the grid. So let's just show you. If I'm on here and I go over here and I click on that, then it turns that off. And if I have multiple things selected, I can go back and I can click on the things that I want to unselect in my set of things that I've got selected. Okay, so that's about it for that. Then I also made a change in the digitization area. So let me save this real quick. And then we'll go into here. Okay, so in this digitization area, I made a change down here where we now have an auto selection checkbox. Okay, so the only thing that's being auto selected here at the moment is if you have the number of colors set to below 5, then this will switch from least distinct to least used. And if the number of colors are greater than that, which is the current setting right now, then notice it didn't allow me to change that. Then if the number of colors are greater than 5 or greater, then it will stay least distinct. So if you have colors more than 5, more than 4 actually, but 5 or more, then you have to turn this off if you want to change this to least used, that kind of thing. So I did that because I think it'd be easier for people who are first-time users and they're trying to do something simple with just one or two or 2 or 3 colors in the picture. Then it's easier I think for them if that automatically flips to least used for when you're using smaller number of colors. So anyway, let me know if you don't like that option. Let me know. But that's the way I'm setting it up at the moment. So okay. All right, so those are the two things that are in Cloud 28. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.